So what if I were to tell you that you could be rich and happy, successful, peaceful, have it all, right? By not even being that funny, but creating a cool, nice little video that ends up getting 100 million views on YouTube and some Facebook, and then overnight your life is completely changed. Hey, my name is Chris from chrisandjigha.com, and in this very exciting episode today, we are talking about how you can be rich, happy, successful, make it all go viral with your videos with your boy JP Sears. All right, if you don't know him, we're about to go in real quick on him and his story, all right? And 3 hacks that I've learned from this cat, like how this cat went from nothing out of nowhere, had never done a video in his life, and created a video that went over 100 million views, all right? And how you can do the same thing too. So hey, welcome my friend. Hey, if you don't know, this channel is all about empowering you, all right? The home business entrepreneur with the mindset and the online skill sets to get results, make more money, and drive the breakthrough that you deserve, all right? So if you like content like that, online business, ideas, making money online, passive income, then hey, give this video a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't forget the bell too, all right? So you can be notified whenever I drop new videos on this type of content, which is pretty much on a Monday through Friday daily basis for you guys right now, all right? So hey, let's get to it, all right? So this is my YouTube page. Now, let me tell you, if you've never heard of this cat named JP Sears, all right? JP Sears, I was recently listening to a podcast episode from Mike Dillard where he was interviewing him and how he created a video, all right? JP Sears is he's considered to be an emotional therapist, right? He's like, his does his work in emotional and spiritual well-beings. And as you can tell, that's kind of what his whole channel is kind of about. But what he did was that he kind of turned his whole funniness. He has like a little weird humor, like we all do, right? It's kind of a weird humor that he used to turn and create his video. And his video pretty much went viral. I think it had almost 200 million views. Can you imagine? What do you think, for a quick second, 200 million views on one of your videos could do for your YouTube channel? For your business. Right? I mean, come on. So this is channel right here, and he in his interview he talks about 3 things that I thought was super powerful. Like if you're trying to not only extend the life of your business and go crazy hardcore with it and make money with your business and be more happy and peaceful in your life at the same time, then I think you're gonna really enjoy this. All right, you're gonna really find some value in this. All right, so straight to the whiteboard. All right, so how to be not just happy, because happy is cool, but we want to be rich and at peace too, man. Imagine your life at peace, peaceful. All right, that's what we're talking about. All right, so JP Sears in his interview talked about 3 things that was super crazy that I want to share with you. Number one, he talked about this concept about, how do you put it? He was like, take the most serious things, all right, the most serious things in your life and be more playful with it. Be more playful. What does he mean by that? Right? He realized something about how the things that were the most important in his life, his relationships, his business, his own emotional health, right, and his spiritual health were all very serious things to him. They're very important things, but he realized that he didn't have to be so serious with it, right? Because when he found himself being so serious, when we find ourselves being so serious with these things, it's like they just kind of like become even bigger and heavier to deal with, right? They become heavy burdens. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you feel like, I don't want to deal with this. You feel like it's just like bothersome. It's this constant thing. Like maybe your relationship is not so good and you have to have this serious talk, right? Or maybe the finances aren't so good and you have to seriously take a look at your money. Like it's just like a burden, right? It just feels like it's just so hard and there's no answers. And he was like, dude, whoever said that, like the important things in your life, right, have to be equal serious. Who said that that's the way it has to be? He was like, nah. As a matter of fact, he found that when he started being more playful with the things that were important to him, right? And kind of just joking around with it a little bit, he found it to be so much easier to deal with. And I can imagine what he's talking about with that, right? It's like we start taking things so a little bit more playful. You know, I've heard people say, I heard things like, don't take yourself so seriously, right? Don't do that because like when you do, first of all, it makes it really hard for you to be creative, right? He was like, you can't be serious and be creative, right? That doesn't work because it's like it blocks that whole creativity part of your mind. That doesn't happen. But when you're playful, it does happen. When you're a little bit jokey about the situation, you're like, you know what? What else, right? Like you see his videos, he's talking about serious stuff like emotional health, right? It's emotional health, mental health. That's a serious deal. That's a serious big deal. But he's like making light of it a little bit, making it a little bit funny because it makes it more easier to kind of digest it, you know, to want to talk about it. Because when it's so serious, like I said, nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to come to the table. But when you're a little bit funny with it, when you add a little bit of humor to it, it's like, oh, okay, you know, that cat's so funny. And you can start to have the conversation because humor always breaks the ice on stuff, you know? Like if you think about it, low key, right? The Joker, right? You know the Joker, right? This guy's like the most menacing like villain that Batman ever encountered. But like he took serious things, like really serious things, like killing people and mass murder and all of this and robbing and made it funny. He made it funny. Why? Maybe so that it could be easier for him to to deal with, right? If you think about he was like the most like, I mean, this is a sociopath, right? That figured out that the most simplest way to get things done, like, and introduce serious topics around people was to like just make light of it, be funny with it, right? It's so weird. It's like if you can be funny with the things that are in your life and just kind of be just playful with it, right? Just be a little bit more playful with the important things in your life, your relationships, your money, your health, right? You'll be more creative. You'll be able to creatively come up with things. Like maybe not like the Joker who creatively comes up with ways to like make people's lives terrible because he's able to make it playful, but you like can come up with more like creative ways to like get like have those conversations and find solutions and answers in your life so that you can be what? Happy, rich, and peaceful and make that money. All right, number 2 hack that my boy JP Sears talks about how to be happy and rich, right? And which helped him go viral in his videos like crazy, was number 2 was recognizing patterns of pain in your life. For example, have you ever noticed, you know, some like your girlfriend who's like in that relationship with that dude, and the dude, and like it doesn't work out. She's like, oh, he was a total bum. And then she gets in another relationship with another dude that look like low key, he's kind of like the same guy, right? And then same thing happens. She's like, oh, he was a bum. He was a double bum, right? And then she gets in a third relationship with another dude, and like once again, you guessed it, he was a triple bum, right? And it's like the same pattern of pain, right? Not able to find someone that you want to be with that fits your style, right? Or let's say, for example, someone who's like having trouble trying to put money together. They can never keep a job. They can never get their business can never take off. It's every time they start one venture, it looks promising, and then bam, something happens. It's like the economy goes down. And then they try to go do another venture, and then bam, something happens, right? The government shuts down, right? Whatever, right? And then bam, they try to do another venture, and bam, they shut down. All their investors walk away. They lose the money, right? You might think that the girl is dealing with the guys and it's like not her fault and the guys she keep coming in and running and bad guys. You may think it's not old boy's fault. He's an entrepreneur and it's not his fault. All these different circumstances keep happening. False, right? That right there is a pattern. And if you can recognize these patterns of consistent pain, right? And instead of looking at them as like, oh my God, why does this keep happening to me? Why does God keep punishing me? God is punishing me. Why is this happening to me? I'm a good person. Da 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 da. Right? Instead of thinking that, you might think them as blessings. Because what is happening is this, and this is what he said, is that we're all walking around with so much pain sometimes that we don't even realize how much pain we are in, right? How much emotional pain we're in, right? We are like the spitting images and scriptings of what has happened to us when we were children, right? And you don't realize that, hey, if you didn't resolve that pain that happened back when you were a child, it never went away. It's still there. And that's what these patterns of pain are, because they're like, if you realize and recognize them as blessings, because you're saying, hey, you know what? This keeps happening. Why does this keep happening? This can clue you into the fact that maybe there's something deep down, an emotional trauma or emotional pain that was, or wound that was never dealt with, that needs to be resolved, right? And if you can resolve that, then you end the cycle of the pattern. You end it, right? Because it's inside you. And like, I mean, it's so crazy because we can be, most of us are, and the reason why a lot of times we don't recognize this is because what he described as, like, basically we are numb, right? We are numb to the pain so much, right? The pain of being frustrated, the pain of being angry, the pain of being lonely, the pain of not being understood, and the pain of not being appreciated, right? These are painful. And when you constantly experience these emotional wounds, like, dude, you just get numb. Like, you like, dude, like, whatever, right? You just like, whatever. You're like, whatever to it anymore. And it's like you don't even realize that you're still hurting, though, right? It's kind of like a dude that got shot in the leg. The dude gets shot in the leg, and he gets like some like anesthesia or whatever, some like anesthesia to numb it all out. He's like, oh, I'm good, and keeps walking. Like, bro, you're bleeding out, dude. You may not feel it, but you're bleeding out. It's the same thing. We're emotionally bleeding out, dude. Like, it's crazy. And we try to use all these band-aids in society, social media, TV, clothes, quick cars, vacations, the good life, and all this other stuff, right? Like, to like money, to like mask the wound, to bandage it up. It won't, because it's still bleeding. You're still bleeding out. It's the reason why you see people who like have done it all, have reached the pinnacle, and yet they're like not fulfilled. They still feel empty because they're still hurting. They're bleeding out. You see, it's crazy. So he was like, if you can recognize that and start and try to resolve that pain, like, you will be remarkably happier, and of course, be rich, happier, and more at peace with yourself. This was the biggest thing, is recognizing the pattern of pain in your life. Recognizing it and asking yourself questions like, why did that happen? Why did I get angry? Why does this always happen? What is going on? Dude, you might be one step closer to the answer that is always within you. It was never anywhere else but inside you. And then number 3 hack that I thought was truly crazy and powerful, if you're trying to be rich and successful, that my boy JP Sears shared, was like, of course, if you get the videos and it starts getting so much fame, 100 million views, what is the natural byproduct of that, right? Trolls, haters, and I mean, your regular run-of-the-mill assholes, okay? And I mean, they're gonna show up and give you grief, right? How do you handle it? I know a lot of people, like Mike Dillon mentioned, he was like, I can't handle it, I can't stand it when someone talks shiz about me, puts crap on my Facebook ads, you know? I see that too, and like, go in your videos and YouTube videos and talk so much smack. How do you handle it? And I like the way JP Sears talked about it. And in fact, that's kind of one of the ways I had adopted after reading Dr. Covey's book about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He mentioned this, and I thought, and it's good to know that he's reverberating the same message. He was like, you got to remember this, right? You got to remember that the people who are talking the most smack, right? Talking the most smack are the ones that are in the most pain. We talked about that emotional pain, right? That pain that people are walking with, they don't even realize it. they're in the most pain. You see, that dude probably is talking smack to you because he wants to get attention. And maybe he doesn't realize that the only way he knows how to get attention is by trying to piss you off, because maybe that's how it was with his dad and his parents. He only got attention when he was being yelled at and talked too crazy at, which makes me think like, man, I got to be careful with how I talk to my little boys, right? And he was like, hey, maybe that's the only way he knows how to get attention is by talking crap to you, right? And expect you to get a response out of you. That's the only way he knows how. But because you understand this, you see, by understanding, seeking to understand, right? Kind of like what Dr. Covey talks about. Once you understand, you seek to understand this person, you are able to empathize, right? I used to always wonder, like, how is it that our Lord is supposed to say that we were supposed to turn a cheek after someone has slapped us in the face, right? How do you do that? And now I realize you seek to understand first, and then you can empathize with them. You understand the fact that they're in pain, and they're just when someone talks smack to you and there's a troll, and there's a hater, and there's an asshole, it's because they are in pain. And they're telling you that this is the only way I know how to express myself. This is how I truly feel about myself. This is how I feel about myself. And that's all they're saying. And they're projecting the pain on top of you. And all you gotta realize is that, dude, you know what? Have mercy. Show mercy, say a prayer for them, and don't even respond hatefully, right? Respond with the empathy that you know that they're in pain. They'll go away, they'll leave you alone, right? They can't do nothing else to you. And that's it. Mercy and prayer. That's kind of what my mom says. You know, a man that sees his prayer sees his progress. So if you keep on praying, you can never go wrong, right? I don't know what kind of prayer you have, it's all up to you. I don't care what kind of prayer you do, right? But if you pray, you can never go wrong. And so that right there is like a surefire way to be happy, rich, and successful. Hey man, tell me if you got value from that, all right? Was that helpful? Was that cool? I think my boy JP Sears hit it on the nail right there. And I thought it was super dope. I subscribed to his channel. Hey, you should definitely check out the channel. I thought it was really good stuff. I like that type of thing. Emotional information, that type of content, because it's super powerful. If you can control your emotional world and your mental world, man, you have complete and utter control of your domain. And once you have control in here, it don't matter what's happening out there, right? You have the choice to choose how you feel in here. Nobody else can impact that. You have complete control here. You're good. So, hey man, I love that. Hope you enjoyed this video. Was that helpful? Right? Yo, I just showed you the surefire way to how to be rich, happy, and successful. If you thought being rich was about getting all the things out there, I'm about to tell you, it starts with in here first, all right? If you enjoyed it, hey, definitely give this video a like. Consider subscribing to the channel up here, my friend. Hey, you want to find more videos to make more money online on this channel? Check out this video right here. I think you'll like it, all right? So that's it, my friends. Till the next exciting episode. Be blessed. Stay hungry out there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.